In this video, I will read the article from Reading 2, Unit 1, Reading 1, Borders on the Land, in the Ocean, and in the Air. First, I will read the article and I will explain the questions that are in the margin and some other important parts. Next, I will answer the questions that are after the article. And I assume that you did page 5 from the book The Pre-Reading during class. So let's begin on page 6 with the reading. The title is Borders on the Land, in the Ocean, and in the Air. Long ago, there were no borders. People moved freely from place to place. Today, countries have national borders. National borders are where one country ends and another country begins. There are two kinds of national borders. The first kind is a physical border. So the word physical border is in bold. So I need to look on the right side here, which tells me, look for a definition. Look in the next sentence for a definition of physical border. Physical borders between countries are physical features like rivers or mountains. You can see them. So I'm having a hard time highlighting today. So I think I'm going to circle this instead. So physical borders are, the word are tells us that there is a definition. So let's move this circle. Man, I'm having a hard time today, guys. Let's make this circle show the definition. Okay, the definition of a physical border is physical features like rivers or mountains that you can see. So you can see them. The Rio Grande is a physical border between Mexico and the United States. The Pyrenees Mountains are a physical border between Spain and France. Let's go to paragraph 2. The second kind of border is a political border. And again, it says look for a definition of political border and highlight it. It will be in the third sentence. So, the second kind of border is a political border. When there is no physical border between countries, governments must decide on one. So this sentence does not have the definition. The definition is in the following sentence. It says political borders are also lines between countries, like physical borders, but governments decide where those borders will be. So political borders, we can say, are lines between countries that governments decide. So here we see a contrast between two types of borders: physical border, which is like a river or mountain, and political border, which is a line that a country makes. The political borders of many North African countries are a good example of this. In the 19th and early 20th century, European countries had power over many parts of Africa. They decided on the borders. Many of these borders were just straight lines on a map. They were not physical features like rivers or mountains. See Figure 1.1. Figure 1.1 is this map of North Africa. So you can see that sometimes the governments made straight lines, for example, between Libya and Egypt, or between Mali and Algeria, or Mali and Mauritania. These are not a physical feature like a mountain or river. This is just a political border. Let's continue reading with paragraph 3. Governments want to control their borders. They want to decide who is coming into their country. Government officials at the border check, that is, take a careful look at, everyone who enters. We need to find the definition of check. So here we see check, that is, take a careful look at. So we know that this part, that is the clue that tells us the meaning, right? That is a clue. It's not the meaning. It's something that lets us know what the meaning is. Okay, and what is the meaning of check? Check means take a careful look at. Okay? Only people who have permission to enter the country may come in. The government also wants to know what is entering the country, so officials also check everything that crosses the border. Most governments make money on some of the things that people bring into their countries. In most countries, there is a tax on things that enter the country. A tax is money that you must pay to the government. For example, when Singaporeans bring a new car from Japan or Europe into their country, they have to pay money to the Singapore government. This is a very nice paragraph about taxes, so it explains what tax is. Then this is a very general statement. Tax is money that you must pay to the government. Then we have a specific example, which is when Singaporeans bring a new car. Let's continue reading paragraph 4. Governments also want to control the ocean near their borders. They want to be sure their country is safe. So they do not want dangerous people to come near their country. There is an international law about this. It says that a country owns the ocean within 13.8 miles, 22.2 kilometers of that country's shore, the country's border with the ocean. So here you see we need to find the definition of the word shore. We see this, the dash is the clue that tells us that a definition follows. And the shore means the country's border with the ocean. We can also see a picture of it here. So that's the shore of Florida. Okay, and you can see that distance out that the government controls. However, there is another important reason why countries want to control the ocean near their shores. The ocean and the land under the ocean have many natural resources, such as fish and oil. Hopefully, you can use this word fish and oil to tell us what natural resources means. They are natural things that grow that we can use. Countries want to use these resources, and they do not want other countries to use them. There is an international law that says that a country may use the natural resources within 124.3 miles, 200 kilometers of its shore. Other countries may not use them. However, no country controls the ocean or its resources more than 124.3 miles from its shore. Okay, so you can see that the borders of a country, for example, here, United States, Florida, are the darker blue areas, but it means the United States can use the resources that are further out from the shore, a longer distance. Let's read the final paragraph. Then the next video will show the answers to the questions. Number 5, what about the air near a country's border? Can a country control that too? The international law about the air around a country is the same as the law about the ocean. Every country controls the airspace within 13.8 miles of its border. A plane must request permission to fly in that space. International laws like these are another way to control national borders. Did you notice that this paragraph, paragraph 5, was about air? Paragraph 4 was all about the ocean. Okay, and paragraph 3 was really about the land, okay, about the country and the land. Paragraph 1 and 2 provided some general information about borders. So here we see the title was Borders on the land, like paragraph 3, in the ocean, like paragraph 4, and in the air, like paragraph 5. Let's analyze this article more in the next video.